All right, Aaron, thank you. All new for you this morning. There's a very rare and sometimes life-threatening side effect from a chemotherapy drug. It is commonly used to treat curable cancers.
7 Eyewitness News senior reporter Eileen Buckley met with a Depew family whose 35-year-old brother died from a reaction to this drug.
We had hope up until the day he died. You know, we all were like, he's going to pull through. And
Angela Murphy says her brother Chris Bramer of Buffalo died just a couple of months after learning he was cancer-free. Bramer was diagnosed with testicular cancer more than a year ago. His chemotherapy treatments included a drug called bleomycin, but Murphy and her husband Michael say Chris knew there were risks. The drug doesn't select the cells it destroys.
It's devastating. Absolutely heartbreaking.
it's hard to go to like my family's house and, you know, go there and where we grew up in the memories and stuff. So it's hard.
In very rare cases, about 10 to 29% of patients will suffer a lung toxicity that can turn fatal.
It killed everything literally in his lungs. So, I mean, it cured his cancer, but unfortunately his lungs suffered for it.
Bramer was having trouble breathing in April. His lungs were damaged and he had to be put on a ventilator.
Ultimately, we'd love to see a change in medical, you know, something, a new breakthrough, something, you know, where you can safely treat people.
What you try to do with treatment is you're trying to find a sweet spot.
Jason Sproul is an assistant professor at UB's pharmacy school. He studies adverse side effects of some cancer drugs.
And then other things that we're looking at is genetics, trying to say, okay, well, this individual might have genetics that make them a higher risk of having side effects, so we can therefore lower doses.
Sproul says they learn more every day. Chris's sister says despite her brother's adverse side effect to the drug bleomycin, she believes he picked the right treatment path.
If they said, you know, he had a less than 10% chance to get a bleo lung, we wouldn't have changed it, because what are the chances? You know, it's just so rare.
Sadly, Bramer died on Father's Day, leaving behind 4 children, his fiancée, and parents. He was a landscaper described as a hardworking and loving dad who would work from sunup to sundown with a smile on his face.
CJ, say I love Dada.
I love Dada.
Eileen Buckley, 7 Eyewitness News.
I have chills. On Father's Day, this father of 4 passes away because such a rare side effect took hold of his body. And oh my gosh, you just feel for his family.
It breaks your heart when you see those family photos.
Terrible.
That's for sure. All right, Eileen's story right now on WKBW.com if you want to see more. Right now, dozens of parents are locked in a battle with New York State. This is over a law passed this session in Albany, and it nixes that religious vaccine exemption.
7 Eyewitness News reporter Jeff Slauson live for us in the newsroom with how this lawsuit is being received here in Western New York, Jeff.
Yeah, this is becoming a battle over the First Amendment and the religious rights that it protects. Those 55 families are claiming that their religious rights are being violated because they're not allowed to get their children vaccinated with a religious exemption. Now, this law passed last month in an effort to put the state immunization rate up to the CDC recommended 95%. It's a reaction to the sky-high number of measles cases that occurred this year across the entire country. One Western New York mother who wanted to keep her identity confidential says if the vaccination requirement is not overturned, she's going to have to face a tough reality for her children.
They're not allowed to go. They are not allowed to start in September, so we will have to homeschool.
This is largely about active hostility to religion. I do not believe it's primarily about public health.
Sussman, who is the lawyer representing those 55 families, also says that 26,000 students across the state will not be able to attend school this year as a result of the law. In addition to the perceived violation of the First Amendment, the 55 families are suing also because there weren't any public hearings that led to this law actually being passed. A judge is expected to announce a decision on this later this week. Katie, Ed.
Jeff, thank you. 6:36. The family of a young man who took his own life is now working to prevent others from the same fate. This is Matthew Benedict and his family. He was a law student at UB. He died last week. Matthew's family says he was not shy to start conversations about mental health issues that many often shy away from. Now, they've started a nonprofit in his honor called Matthew Benedict's One Last Goal to help others who struggle with mental health issues.
I know that we're not the only family that loses a loved one to suicide. And that's the one thing that Matt was able to do that most of us didn't do, is he wasn't afraid to at least speak out.
So important to have that conversation. So if you need help, there are resources available for you. The 24/7 suicide prevention hotline is 800-273-8255. I'll say it one more time. It's 800-273-8255. That number is going to be available for you right now on WKBW.com, along with more information about the One Last Goal program. The death of a baby is often difficult to talk about, but a local organization is hoping to help families cope with their loss. It's called Angel Gowns of Western New York. Members collect old wedding or prom gowns and turn them into gowns for babies who never make it home from the hospital. The gowns are free of charge, made by donations, and everyone has their own reason for giving.
It is 6:37. The U.S. women's soccer team's big win has been bringing up the concept of equal pay for equal work since the Men's Cup winner gets paid millions more. Well, the concept of equal pay is now law here in New York State. Governor Cuomo signing that law that bans paying a woman less than a man for what he would make doing the same job. It also bans paying someone less based on their age, their gender identity, their national origin, or their religion.
You cannot explain on the economics, on the marketing, why the women soccer players get paid less than men's soccer players, period.
Now, according to Forbes, the U.S. women are going to split $4 million in prize money. The winners of last year's Men's World Cup split $38 million. Buffalo's Music Hall of Fame is about to get a little bigger. The names now set to grace the hall and how they're reacting to the news.
Obviously, I would love all our friends in the United States to come over and stay here and smoke in peace.
Staying in a hotel to smoke marijuana legally, how one man is hoping to make it a reality north of the border.
And a bagel shop blow up. You won't believe what this guy was ranting about and how it's now blowing up all over social media. Aaron?
Mid-80s today. We'll be in the mid-70s on Friday with partly sunny skies. A few showers are possible as we head into Saturday with the temperatures near 80 degrees, near 80 on Sunday.
Good morning, Elmwood Village and University Heights. You're watching 7 Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. That whirlwind tour is not over for the U.S. women's national soccer team.
This morning, they've now won an ESPY Award for Best Team.
Super proud of all of these 22 fabulous ladies. So props to all of you, but thank you so much. And here's to the next World Cup in another 4 years. Thank you.
These awards are given out by ESPN. They showcase moments of humanity along with sports excellence. Last year, Jim Kelly took home the Jimmy V Award for overcoming adversity.
And here at home, Buffalo's Music Hall of Fame is growing. 6 new acts are now joining the ranks of inductees. They include Jim Crean, Leroy Caldwell Johnson, Cynthia Moore, Joe Rubino, Kenny Peterson, and the band Every Time I Die.
We've been championing Buffalo for as long as we've been around, so it feels good to have it reciprocated. It's nice.
This 2019 class going to officially be inducted October 3rd at the Cardinal O'Hara Performing Arts Center in Tonawanda. Playground problems for one Niagara Falls community. Why nails are sticking out on a playground that was just renovated. Reporter Rebecca Thornburg is finding out what's going on with that.
Plus money everywhere. Why police are now telling people in Georgia to fork it over after they found it on the freeway.
And later today on GMA, an ABC News exclusive, tagging sharks with the scientists who say they may have figured out the tricks to track these predators. But first, some breakfast for your brain. Welcome back. As you're waking up, you might see this next video in your Facebook or Twitter feed today.
Search bagel guy and you'll find this.
Great. Why is it okay for women to say, oh, you're 5 feet on dating sites? You should be dead. That's okay?
Who said that to you here? Nobody.
Women in general have said it on dating sites.
Okay.
So he's blowing up about women turning him down on dating apps. This happened at a bagel store on Long Island. The prompter says it's hard to see why he gets turned down, but I don't know if that's a short joke or what.
No, I I think it's Anchorage.
Oh, okay. When another man told him to calm down, he told him to shut his mouth. The other guy tackled him to the ground, which is really funny to see. The woman who recorded it all can just be heard saying, "I just want some bagels" at the end, which is why we all love Long Island.
Oh my goodness.
Let's talk about another brawl. This one over money, and there's a lot of it. About $175,000 blew onto a Georgia highway and into the woods after the doors of an armored truck accidentally swung open.
Jeez.
Driver after driver pulled over to try and pick up whatever they could, but get this, anyone who did pick up any of that money actually has to give it back.